What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Yo, how y'all day going? How y'all day going? Today is going to be a very special show. Man, we got a bang on tap. We got a bang on tap. We got a big celebrity in the building. Let's get started. Yo, this is the In Your Face show. And we're here with my main man, Mr. Rodney Barnes. How are you today, sir?
Hanging in there, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome, doing awesome, having a good time. Just being in the presence of a great celebrity. Sorry about that, sir. Sorry
It's
about
all
that.
good. It's all good. Thank you for having me.
All right, all right. So I have a couple of questions for you. Some questions for you. So, what inspired you to pursue a career in writing?
Um, I sort of had a relationship with words even as a kid. I liked to write. I loved to read. I loved just literature across the board, whether it was comic books, novels, school. Had an aptitude for it. Never really thought it would lead to where it's led to, but really felt it in my heart. And then when I got to a certain age where other things weren't working, I tried to play ball, I tried to do a bunch of other things, and they didn't work out. I figured at the very least I should take a shot at this and try to make it work. And things worked out, and here I am.
Oh man. So like, how many years did it take for you to get into the groove of you know writing, and how did that transition from playing basketball or football turn
Uh,
into writing?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I probably stopped playing ball in the early 90s, and I got my first professional job as a writer in 2000. So in between, it was sort of just trying to find myself, find my way out of Maryland to California, and um, just trying to find a place for myself in the business.
Right, 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 right. So I'm a writer myself, and do you have writer's block? Do you get writer's block sometimes?
No.
Oh man, shoot. So you just do you practice like your craft? Like, do you like practice writing and stuff like that before you do your final projects and stuff like that?
No, I just write every day. It's a part of my life. It's what I do for a living. So I just wake up in the morning like I'm going to work, and I just start working.
Oh man, oof, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. What was your proudest accomplishment in writing, and what you do?
Um, that's a tough one. I mean, I don't know what I would say. Probably the comics, writing Philadelphia, writing Blackula, because those are things that came purely writing wise from me. Um, I partner with Jason Sean Alexander, who does the illustrations, but as far as the story itself, no one's really saying you can do this, you can't do that. Whereas in TV and movies, I constantly have somebody giving me notes and telling me what I can and can't do. Um, so I'd probably say the books, the Philadelphias and the Blackulas.
Mm, mm. So, out of all those projects that you've done when it comes to comics and stuff like that, right? What was the most hardest to write? What was the most challenging?
Probably Falcon because it was my first. I really didn't know what I was doing. I'd say the first three issues of Falcon were the hardest.
Oh wow, yeah, man. Oh man, so the Runaway, Marvels, right? Marvel. So
Mhm.
how did you get started on that?
They hired me to write and produce the show.
Awesome, 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 awesome. So, and during that series, right? During that series, what was it? What was the most easiest part of it to do when it comes to Marvel and stuff like that?
All of it was relatively. I mean, it's all at this point. I was pretty far into my career by the time I did that. It was probably like 6 years ago, 7 years, maybe longer, 6, 7 years ago. I pretty much just went in to, provide a service. So it's not, that wasn't, the earlier ones were harder because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But I think as I got more experience and, confidence comes with experience, that I sort of knew how to come in and manage myself on a show. So that wasn't really hard per se. I had read
Okay.
the books before, and I'm a big fan of Brian K. Vaughan, and the showrunners were great people, and so yeah, it was a pretty good gig.
Awesome, 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 awesome. You know, doing comics is a hard thing as well. I feel you on that. Whew, man, because it took me 17 years to get my first book out, and I understand how you feel. They're like, how long did it take for you to get Dracula out? Blackula, I think, was it Dracula, Blackula?
Blackula.
Blackula, sorry about that.
That's okay. We probably took 2 years to do it
Okay.
because Jason and I were still doing Philadelphia together and a bunch of other books. I probably had about 4 or 5 books out at the same time during that period. So Blackula was kind of not a hobby, but it was something we would do when we had time to do it.
Mm, mm. Oh man. So, oh man, that was awesome. That's in 2 years, man. I guess because y'all hungry for that, to get that first one out. What was it like to get your first book out that you've been working on so hard on? What was it like? Was like that
Um,
feeling?
I mean, I think because it wasn't coming out of Image Comics, it was coming from my own company. There's probably more of a sense of pride because I sort of had to oversee everything, whereas with the other books, you just write a script and turn it in, and one day a book shows up. But here, every step of the process, I had to work with the other folks on the team to sort of manage everything. So it was a different process, but a rewarding one. Proud.
I have a comment where it says, "What does it take to become a writer?"
That's a big question. It's according to what you're trying to become a writer for. I mean, it's different. Are you talking about writing for TV, films, novels, journalism? It's all, I guess, the only common thing that I found is a degree of focus. You have to be able to really um, inhabit the world that you're trying to create in order to make it work. Discipline, that you're able to do it when nobody else is telling you you have to. Um, and really a sense of passion. I mean, I think you have to really want this because it's a lonely road. Um, I go in a room, I shut the door, and I'm here for 10, 12 hours at a time trying to tell a story.
Mm, that's perfection, perfection of the craft. You know what I mean? And to get your stuff down. I understand. I do the same thing. So, what do you what do you do when you have pressure, like to when you are stressed and pressured to get a project out? What do you do to get rid of that?
I just work through it. That
Okay,
comes with
okay.
it. Every day, there's a degree of pressure that accompanies every project, and that comes with the territory. I just keep going.
That's awesome. What is the biggest challenge you have faced in the field of work of comics? And
Um, Making it work with everything else. I mean, comics, they don't take a whole lot of time to write, but I'm doing it while I'm writing TV shows and movies at the same time and trying to live a life. So trying to fit everything in at the same time is a challenge, but and not losing my focus to the point where the quality of the work isn't high. Um, that's a challenge, but it's a good one. It creates a different sense of discipline that I know that even if I want to just get it done, I still have to take the time to make it what I believe it should be in order to make the best book possible.
Right. True that. True that. Very understandable. Very understandable. Okay. What was your most memorable experience during doing what you do?
Most memorable experience. I mean, every day is a different experience. I don't really have one that
I see.
sort of overshot. I've been doing it for 25 years, so it's like it's a difficult thing to find one experience that that stands out amongst all others, because every season there's always things that happen that sort of stand out above others. But I'm just grateful to be able to continuously do it, and be able to do it at a relatively high level.
True that. True that. True that. How do you stay focused and motivated? What do you do?
I got bills. I got bills. I got kids that need to eat and go to college. I have responsibilities. I don't have a choice. If I don't work, I can't work. Work begets work. I have to keep going. I don't have the luxury of like writer's block, or not feeling it or not being motivated. I don't have that luxury. I have to keep going regardless of how I feel. So that's sort of the motivation. It's nothing like inspiring. It really is just a matter of whether I feel good or I feel bad, I still do it.
Awesome. Awesome. So, what and who inspired you to write, to be a
It's
writer?
intrinsic. It came from me. I mean, I have writers who I appreciate, whose work I appreciate: the Stephen Kings, the Richard Mathesons, the James Baldwins, Octavia Butler. It's a bunch of writers that I appreciate, but at the end of the day, I make the decision to write. So, it's coming from me.
Understandable. 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 So, what made you want to get into what you're doing today?
What do you mean?
As in film, as in writing sitcoms, and as in writing, like movies and doing comics and stuff like that. What made you want to get into all of that?
I mean, it's something that, again, that I wanted to pursue.
Right,
It was
that's
something
right.
that was connected to my heart, and something that I thought that if I had enough experience and time, that maybe I could be good at it. And, it was better than any of the other things that life was holding out for me. Like I said, once I realized I wasn't going to play ball or do any of those things, that um, I figured if I had any other dream, it would be writing TV shows and movies. And here we are.
Very understandable. Very understandable. So, sir, you know, when it comes to the Boondocks, I know that's a funny show. But a very funny show. What made you come up with the characters on all on the shows?
They already existed. They were the show's creator had them in the newspaper. It was a syndicated news strip that was being adapted to a TV show. So they already existed. It was just a matter of taking them from one place and putting them in another, and giving a voice that was a little bit more provocative than what was in the newspaper. But it was a collective. It wasn't just me. It was a bunch of folks who sort of did it like any other TV show. Just sort of sat down and figured out what those voices were going to ultimately be.
What was it like putting it all together with with all the people that helped you put it together? What was that experience like?
It's always a beautiful experience. I mean, even good days or tough days. I mean, it's always great to be creative in a room with other creative people, and trying to make something funny and work. I'm always grateful. It's always a blessing, regardless of what show it is.
True that. True that. Very understandable. Okay. Okay. How do you feel about the filming industry? Do you feel like it's moved on and became great, or do you feel like it's moving toward? Do you think it evolved? Is what I'm trying to say.
From when? I mean, yeah, it certainly evolved from the beginning of the film industry. It's not
Yeah,
like
that's
it
what I'm
was
trying to
in the
say. Sorry about that.
1900s. Yeah, it's evolved. It's not the same thing. I mean, technology. What area are you? Is there a specific
Like
area?
from the 80s, the 90s, on how they were done technical wise.
Yeah, yes, cameras are better, technology's better. You can make a movie on your phone now. I mean, the world sort of changed, and 3D technology has made it so that virtually anybody can make a movie right now.
Very. I can't wait to make my own movie. Can't wait. Can't wait. Can't wait. So I sent you the my book, Actual Jarhead. Have you ever read it before?
I haven't yet. No,
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, because I remember talking to you about it. It was
I
a
think I
while
read
ago.
one of them a while back, but I don't remember exactly what it. I don't remember. I'm working all day. You catching me after working a bunch to quiz me? I won't remember. I read a lot.
I know. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. I understand. So, you know, doing my wife and kids, right? My wife and kids. Everybody knows about that show, Damon Wayans, Tisha Campbell, and all those cast members. How was it? What was that show like? What was it behind the scenes with that?
It's a great experience. Damon has been like a mentor to me, and the Wayans family in general. It's an honor. My first show. It's an honor to be a part of it.
Oh man, what was your like? What was it like doing your first show, like a big show like that?
It was a good amount of pressure. I mean, I always wanted to do a good job. I didn't really have a reference point to what a good job was, but it was sort of boot camp for me. It was teaching me how to become a professional.
Man, I can't wait. Yeah. So, how many years have you been on the sitcom side of it? How many years have you been doing sitcoms?
I did them for 10 years.
10 long years. 10 years, man. And in those 10 years, you know, what was the most, you know, happiest time of those 10 years that you've done it?
I mean, every day was I was grateful. There wasn't one day that stands out over any other. I mean, anytime, you got an opportunity to be a professional writer and work creatively for a living, it's always a blessing.
I have another comment. It says, "Where did you begin? Begin how was your art discovered?"
Um, I need a little bit more specifics. Like, when did I begin writing?
Yeah, when did you begin writing, and how was it discovered? Basically.
It wasn't really discovered. I mean, I've been writing my entire life. If you're talking about a specific thing that sort of got me to professional writing, it really was my relationship with Damon Wayans. He gave me an opportunity. I made it clear that I wanted to be a writer. He had a TV show. He gave me an opportunity. I made the most of it, and just and it started a career. It wasn't like I did one thing. I think I was relatively prepared because I've been writing on my own. So when I got into a writer's room, I had a working idea of what it is that I did well. But it was really the relationship with Damon that sort of opened the door for me.
Right, right, right. So, okay, everybody hates Chris. I know that was Chris Rock's, thing, man. Like, and I know uh, y'all relationship grew from there. What was the Chris Rock? What was like getting close to him as a person?
Oh, it was
Your
great. I
relationship.
mean, Chris is a genius, and being able to have his perspective of being like not only a top comedian but a legend in the business. There's so much that you learn just being around and just being able to be fortunate enough to hear his thoughts and his philosophy on how to um, manage yourself in the business. And watching his work ethic has certainly influenced my work ethic and how I try my best to manage myself. um, so yeah, I mean, he's been very, very influential in my career and in my life.
Awesome. So in all the when during the casting, right? Was it like were you in charge of the casting, or was it just being a producer? I know there's a lot of work to do and
Of
everything.
Everybody Hates Chris?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't in charge of the casting. My contribution, other than writing scripts and producing, was I produced the voiceover in the show. So
Okay.
Chris, I helped record Chris and place it in the show, um, and that stuff. So that was sort of my contribution.
Ah. So what is it? I don't really know much about voiceovering, right? So
Mhm.
what is in voiceovering? What is it that you that is the hardest part to do when it comes to voiceovering? What is it like?
It's not really hard. I mean, it was more of I would write the lines and write the jokes
Oh, okay, yeah,
and take him to the recording studio, and then he would record it, and I would say whether I thought that was a good reading or a bad reading, and then later when we edited the show, I would place those voiceover lines in the show.
okay, man. So back to comics, right? Back to
Mhm.
comics, right? Blackula. I know you. I know because I read like about Blackula. I actually saw the movie, the actual movie. Is that basically predicted on the movie, or is it just a part from it?
Yeah, it's a sequel to the movie.
Okay. So Blackula, right? Is it the scene with the 1970s, or is it new regime? Like, is it new like
Yeah, it's
all?
updated. It's
Okay,
updated from the 70s. Yeah.
okay. Man, I got a lot of questions. I don't want to cram them up and put them too many. Ask you too many questions. You know what I mean? I have somebody saying thank you for the response.
Oh,
Thank you for
all
the
good.
response,
You're
sir.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. So during the Everybody Hates Chris, you know what I mean? How long did that show last to you?
4 seasons, 88 episodes.
88 episodes. Yeah. Oh man. I remember the when it first came on, I was very young, very young. When you first like saw your work on TV, when you first actually just started seeing all your work on TV, what was it? How was the feeling?
Felt good. It felt good. I wanted to do more. I wanted to do better. It was a good feeling, but never like, never to a place where I felt like I had it made or anything like that. I always felt like I needed to just get better at it. I still feel like I need to get better at it.
Very understandable, very cool. I like that you're very humble, man. You're very cool, calm, and collected. You know what I'm
I try. I try.
saying? Yeah. What is the comment when people see you in public? What do they say?
Oh, well, it's according to who sees me. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's most writers, you just see letters on the screen. You don't see me very much. I mean, I think because of social media and I do so many interviews that people get an opportunity to see me if they make the connection between the two. Um, most people talk about the work and ask me questions about the work or things that they like and or don't like. It's according to what it is. But it's mostly about the work, always.
Hmm. So out of all the work that you've done, what is one of the projects that meant the world to you? That one project that you felt like was very close to your heart.
They all mean something to me. I mean, they're all built on each other. So it's not like it's like picking your favorite child. I mean, if it wasn't for the early
Right. True that. True
sitcoms,
that.
I wouldn't be working on the dramas right now. So it all matters. It's all important.
Man, you're knocking out these questions. Yeah. So when it comes to being one of the guys that people come up to and be like, Do you ever get tired of them asking questions?
No, I'm grateful. I mean, I think I never thought when I was a kid that I would be in a position where anybody would want to talk to me or hear what I had to say or what I thought about anything. So, unless I'm like physically tired or in a bad place, for the most part, people are asking. It's typically the same question or questions in the same area. So I don't mind.
True, true, true. Do you get like tired of doing the same old same material, or do you enjoy doing comics and sitcoms and everything?
I haven't done a sitcom for 10 years. So I don't get tired of those. As far as comics are concerned, no, I'm still very, very grateful to be able to do them and, that people want to read them and just trying to do them better, just trying to figure out a way to get the best out of myself to do better and better work.
Hold on, let me turn this down, take this down. All right, there we go. This looks right. Yes, 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 yes. When you're doing like writing, man, like, do you visualize it before you do it, or do you just write it all down, write what you want down?
I mean, I typically have an idea of what I want to write. I try to have a beginning, a middle, and an end somewhere in my head that helps the process. Pretty much have a working idea of the story. So there's that. So yeah, there's always something that starts psychologically before I put pen to paper.
That is an awesome, way to think about that. I have somebody say shout out to my brother, Beast, Beast Box the Tiger. Thank you, bro. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. I'm getting all the love today. Thank y'all, everybody. I got Mr. Rodney Barnes. This guy is amazing. You actually inspired me from seeing your work, man.
Thank you.
Blackula, 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 Blackula. How many years? How long has you been doing the series Blackula?
I've only had one book, so that's the 2 years that I was saying a minute ago.
Sorry about that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that with that 2 years and doing Blackula, right? Do you feel that that legacy of Blackula, man? Do you feel like it'll ever get played out, or do you feel like it'll still live on?
I mean, it was a quality film, and is one of the few that had a black character at the center of the narrative in a horror film. Certainly, one of the first that I can remember. So, I think it's got its place amongst other films of its kind, and I think it'll live on. Certainly, live on for till the end of time.
Man. So Philadelphia, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm going through. I like to get them all out the way. Philadelphia, right? Is it basically based off Philadelphia, or is it just Philadelphia? Just the name came up with.
No, it's set in Philadelphia. It's set in it's slang for Philadelphia, but it's set in Philadelphia.
Awesome, because I know I've read books where it says it's not, where people would tell me it's not, set in or that state or anything. It's just the name and whatever. So that's why I asked that. Do you, like, during your interviews, right? Do you ever get bored or tired in the interviews to being asked questions?
Not really. I mean, I try to be focused as possible and try to give the most honest answer that I can.
Yeah, I try to do that too. So, man, who are your top 5 characters in comics that you've read? I know, because I know you're a guy that been reading comics for a long time. So I got to ask the question. You know what I mean?
Probably Swamp Thing, Batman, Daredevil, maybe Blade, um, uh, maybe Green Lantern, John Stewart. Yeah, that's probably it.
So, based on that question, based on that, all of what you just said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think comics, from what you read before back then, and from what you read now, do you still read comics in today's day, or
I
do you
do.
still? Okay.
I
So,
do.
what are the latest comics that you've read?
I read Spawn. I read DC's Deceased. I read Something Is Killing the Children. Ice Cream Man. Bunch of different books. Bloodstained Teeth. Noctera. A bunch of things. Mostly indie comics.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I know a lot of indie comics that you would love, man. Because I think that the indie circuit is growing, and I think that the indie circuit needs the eyes on it as much as possible because these guys work their ass off, man, and like stories like Chess, stories like Melvin, stories like man, Niobe, stories. It's a lot of stories that I've read that I love, man. That you should give them a read. You may probably like them.
Yeah, I've
Hey,
read
of course,
Niobe. Yeah.
huh? Niobe. Okay,
Yeah, I've
okay.
read it before. Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay, okay. I mean, of course, I want you to read Jarhead. You know what I'm saying? Because of course, it's the best comic coming out soon. You know what I mean? Part two. I got it coming out soon, and I have a short story called Collision of the Colossus coming out very soon. But enough about me. We got the great Mr. Rodney Barnes in the house. Ask him any questions, guys. Y'all free to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. He's here. You know. But along that, so before the show, have you watched any of the episodes on my show? From my show?
I haven't yet. No.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, I've had some guys on the show that you might know. You might know. You know what I mean? Um, and I have had Mr. Robert Parham, Mr. Eric Larson, from Image Comics. Had a lot of guys on the show, that really, really actually took this thing to a whole new level for me when it comes to the show, when it comes to the podcast thing.
Cool.
Just wanted to talk to you about that, what I'm saying, get that out the way, build that thing, build the rapport with you, so that whatever you come out with, you can come right back on the show. I don't mind it at all,
Thank you.
Not a problem, not a problem. The In Your Face show is the place to be, and it's the flagship show for something new coming out. Anytime, every time, we're here to talk that shit and talk it well, baby. I'm real. I've been real. I'm not a reader, but what's your normal time range on story, and what's the one you enjoy the most writing?
For comics or for what?
Yeah, is it for comics, Hector? I'm guessing he's talking about comics.
Probably Philadelphia. We're almost 30 issues in. There was the question, how long does it take to write Philadelphia?
Yeah. Yeah. How long did? Oh, what did he say? He said, "What's the normal time of range on the story?" Yeah. What's the normal time of the range of the story?
It usually takes me a day or two to write the story. Sometimes it's longer if I got a bunch of other stuff happening, but a day or two to write a script is about the usual.
Awesome. 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 So, how long do it take to get a character done that you that you want to get out in a story, Philadelphia?
About a day or two. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, too, man.
Yeah.
Cause okay, like, ooh, man, a day or two. It took me like a week. Cause I'll be writing too. Cause when I write, it's like I write and I always have so much in my head, right? But I want to get it all down, but it takes me like a week to really jot down the details, jot down everything that I'm trying to get down, and then I have the bulk load of the story. How do
Mhm.
you break all the synopsis down?
I just do it. I mean, at this point, because like I said, Philadelphia is 30 issues in. I know where I'm going. It's not as much breaking it down. I just sort of start writing the story. I know I have a good idea where it's heading. So it's not even a synopsis. I just start writing a script.
That's all. That's cool. That's cool. It's cool. You know, like writing is writing screenplays and all that stuff. Is it different than writing like comic scripts?
Yes, they're different. They are different.
How long do it take for you to write a screenplay rather
It's
than
a,
a comic script?
it's according to whether it's a TV show or a movie, and the type of screenplay or film. I mean, the type of screenplay or television script. It's like if I'm doing something like the Jack Johnson or something else that requires research, it might take a little bit longer. If I'm doing something that I know pretty well, like the Philadelphia adaptation, might not take that long.
Awesome, awesome. I have a comment and a question here from one of my audience. From the audience, is there any groups out there who look at scripts for comedy, and what direction would you point someone to be discovered?
I mean, not that I'm aware of, but I think that if you, it's always good when you say discovered. I don't know if you want to be discovered by an agency, like a talent agency, or um, I don't know what kind of discovery exactly that you mean. I think it's tough. I mean, in comedy, I don't know if you're a stand up. If you're a stand up, you can always go out and do the improvs and, go to the places where they have, open mics and that type of thing. I think if you're talking about writing comedy, like scripts, you probably want representation. So you might want to go to the development departments of any agency, any talent agency, and do your research on them and submit your work to them. Um, it's a little different than when I was coming up because the internet wasn't what it is now. And, now you can communicate with damn near anybody. So it really is a matter of doing your research and finding out who represents people like you and finding those places and submitting your work to them.
Awesome, awesome. I have another question from the audience. Who's your favorite screenwriter and someone you look up to?
Paul Schrader, guy that wrote Taxi Driver and Raging Bull and Blue Collar and American Gigolo. I've always liked his work. John Milius, who wrote some of the Dirty Harry movies and Apocalypse Now and some other things. They prop Tom Fontana, who wrote Homicide: Life on the Street and Oz. Man, there's a few. Vince Gilligan, Breaking Bad, and Better Call Saul. It's a bunch of people that I look to, but those are the ones that are off the top of my head.
Man, that's I have a lot. I have a lot of people that I look up to because you know a lot of those people that you look up to. How many people that you, like out of all those people that you look up to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are some of the people that you mimic or just that you write your stuff like when it comes to when you how do you write your stuff like
No one. I try to write like me. I try to find my own voice and express that. I don't really. I mean, I appreciate other people's work, and I look at writing styles, but a lot of different writing styles. It's not just one. I try to find the honesty in writers' work, and I try to use that to find the honesty in my own work, but I don't try to mimic anybody.
Mm. That's it. That's an awesome way to look at that. It's a very awesome way to look at that. Y'all can ask him any more questions. He's open for all the smoke, ladies and gentlemen. All the smoke, all the questions, all the love. You know, man, every time I have a big name on here, some people they got all the questions to ask. You know what I mean? So, have you been to Comic Con?
Yeah, several times. Several
Oh
times.
man, like I never been to Comic Con yet. Like, what is it like there?
It's cool. I mean, I've been going for the past almost 20 years, so it's different every year, but it's great.
Oh man, like, did you think it because I heard from a lot of guys that been there that it's more about the video games and all the other stuff rather than comics now.
It's sort of evolved. I mean, there was a time when I first started going where it was mainly about comics and comics creators, and now it's sort of evolved to the movies and the TV shows and video games and cosplay and all of that stuff. But the convention center is so big that you can find your place and find out where you want to hang out. So it's still cool.
Oh man, I heard you could get lost in those big places.
I'm sure I haven't, but I'm sure you can.
Yeah, because as it'll be my first time going, man, and I always wanted to go, and I'm like, man, I want to go so bad. I always wanted to go to the one in New York or the one in California, in San Diego. Which one is your favorite to go to?
There's no favorite. I mean, I do both every year. Most years I didn't go during COVID, but most years I do both because I work for the companies and I have to speak, and so um, both. I dig both.
Oh man, yeah. So during the Comic Cons and everything, like, how do you feel about the little kids, the little young ones coming up to you asking for your autograph? Do you,
I mean, I think it's cool. That's mostly at the Star Wars ones more than anything else. Not too many kids are reading Philadelphia Blackula, but when I do, because I write The Mandalorian, that I get some kids and I get younger people for that stuff. But it's always cool. It's an honor. I'm glad people appreciating the work.
it's very awesome, very cool, very cool, very cool. I can't wait till I get to that point, man. I can't wait. Like, do you have what kind of advice do you have for the people coming up that's in your shoes right now? That was in your shoes year like you were years ago. What kind of advice would you give to those people?
Kind of like I said earlier, I mean, focus, discipline. You have to create your own process. You have to find your voice. I think Hollywood hires people with voices more so than just writers because there's so much information out there that anybody can get Robert McKee's book or Save the Cat or any of the writing books and learn the process and the structure of writing. But not everybody has their own voice, and that's the thing that makes everybody different. So if you can develop your thing and what you do, there's probably a place for you. So that would be my advice: is develop you.
Okay, I'll give you. There's a part of the show, a segment of the show where I give you 60 seconds to promote every project you got, every project you've done, or every project that's coming out that you got coming out. 60 seconds to promote it all.
I mean, I've got Blackula, which you can pick up on Amazon or at your local comic shop. Same with Philadelphia and Monarch and Nita Hall's Nightmare blog. All of those, comic-wise, can be found at Amazon or your local comic shop. Television-wise, Winning Time Season 2 should be out during the summer. So there's that. As far as the other things, they're all sort of in different places of development. I'm writing Jack Johnson now and got a movie at Netflix that I'm writing now. And more stuff to come. So I'd say keep an eye out. Go to at the Rodney Barnes at Twitter and Instagram, and usually I update stuff there or on my websites, rodneybarnes.com, to find out what's going on with me.
You heard him. It's here, Mr. Rodney Barnes, Mr. Boondocks himself, Mr. Everything, man. He's so great. Okay, so about the winning time, the season, man. How do you feel about the season one?
I think we did a pretty good job. It's the first time you do anything, you make something new. It's always a challenge, but for sure, I think we did a really good job, and I look forward to the future.
Awesome, awesome. Have you met Mr. Magic Johnson?
No, well, I met him before, but not during the process of the show.
Oh man, I would love to meet him. He's one of my favorite. But yeah, man. What was the experience like writing Winning Time?
It was fun. It was good. I mean, same as a lot of other shows. It's the work that's in front of you, a lot of research. But I kind of watched those games when I was a kid, so it was kind of cool recreating that. But great experience.
Very awesome, very awesome. Awesome. So, is there anything else you want to tell the people? Talk to the people?
No, I mean, thank you all for watching, listening. Appreciate my work, those that do, and I hope to keep entertaining folks for years to come.
You got it. Bang. Yo. It's been well, everybody. It's been well, everybody. Are you open for questions or open for more questions in the comment box or,
Sure. No, ask me.
Go as long as you want.
Ask me what you got. You got me another 15 minutes.
Yeah. So whatever y'all want, ask whatever y'all want. You got another 15 minutes. So the likes is going up. So likes is going up. Like 8 likes already.
All right.
I just got a like before I even got in here. Oh man. But nah, I actually love that episode with where the dude a pimp named Slickback, he was like where Mr. John Witherspoon was playing Pops. He was like, listen, Slickback. He was like, no, a pimp named Slickback. So what made y'all, huh?
The great Cat Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so fun, so funny. He's one of my favorite comedians, man.
He was great.
So what was it like, what made you write it so gritty and so, in your face type like that?
I mean, we're just trying to write the best show we can. It wasn't so much a thing of making a choice of grittiness. It was just, there was that kind of show. It was a satire.
I mean, I like it. I like the gritty. That's the way that's the way I write,
Yeah. No, satire, just trying to capture the honesty of the moment. Trying to find the humor in the honesty.
Very cool, very cool. Because I love the way y'all did the characters, you know what I'm saying? I love the way y'all captured all the stories that was out, about people, and y'all just picked it up and just made it into a cartoon. It's very awesome, very awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Y'all, man, like, I see that I have a lot of work to do, a lot of work to get in, what I'm saying? Because I want to, you've actually inspired me to write and to build more, grow out more,
That's a good thing. It's always good to expand.
Yes, sir. I have a question from somebody. Okay, hold on. I'm going to put it up on the screen.
I think probably Stephen King again. I've met him before, but I'd love to be able to work with him. I love being able to work with people who, I think have been experienced in doing it way longer than me and at a higher level than me, so I can get better, and sort of soak up whatever it is that they do that can help me do what I do better than how I do it. So Stephen King would be somebody who comes to mind. Can't hear you. Your voice went away.
I said, I got a feeling this is going to go viral.
Okay.
It's going to go real viral, man.
Can't hear you.
How the hell?
All
right, you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. So, y'all got any more questions? Just to like to give y'all a chance to, get y'all questions out. I like when the audience is participating into the interviews and everything. Because it's very cool. Very ouch. Hold up. So, hold on, let me see. He said, you should be very proud. Great job. Thank you for all that info, sir.
Thank you, Hector. I appreciate that, brother.
He said you're a star.
I might be in the sky. I don't know if I'm the
star. Yeah, man, I love it. I can't wait to get to your status, man. Can't wait.
You'll get there, I'm sure. You'll pass.
Hey, maybe we could work together someday. You never know.
It's possible.
Very possible, sir. Very possible. But yeah, man. Is there anything else you would like to talk about, or we good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, y'all had your chance. Time to get us out of here. I know Mr. Barnes got a lot of things to do. So it's been cool, and it's been awesome with Mr. Rodney Barnes. And it's been the In Your Face show. I got somebody else wrote a comment. Damn, I was about to take us out of here. Do you write multiple projects at once or focus one at a time?
Multiple. It's usually 5 or 10 things happening at the same time.
Yeah. How do you get the time to focus on just one at a time and have all those deadlines?
Make the time. You can do a lot when you force yourself to do something. So yeah, make the time.
Very true. But it's awesome to have you here, and I'm trying to get us out of here. I know you got stuff to do, sir. Don't blame me. It's been awesome. Have you enjoyed yourself lately?
Yeah, all good. Yeah.
Would you like to come back on the show for a recap?
Yeah, I'll come back. I'm happy to come back.
I'm the same. Have 4 years notes, and thank you guys. Hey, it's all welcome, man. I told y'all to during these interviews, have fun. Ask the people questions. I don't mind it. It's all love, baby. That's how you get better. That's how you grow. But yeah, it's been well. We out of here. Peace.